Right now at 6, authorities warn area businesses to keep an eye out for counterfeit bills.
And we've got a chilly start to the day, at least by August standards out there. Not bad. Clouds, though, will be increasing, and temperatures not bad today either. We'll look at all that in the forecast. Get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the city of Carthage invites the public to weigh in on funding for the needs of the community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Friday in the 4 states. Yeah, it's Friday.
Friday.
Now I want some fries.
Ooh, that
would make me say yay. If I had some fries right now.
You heard the man. Let's get him some.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But it would not be necessarily a bad idea.
No.
You got to have breakfast first, though. But I mean, for us, our breakfast is like 2 o'clock in the morning. Our lunch is like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And when I need the restaurants to start serving lunch at 9 a.m. That's what we need.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, today's going to be a great day to maybe eat that lunch outdoor, take a picnic, a little walk, something like that, because it's going to be relatively pleasant across the area. A little bit on the cloudy side, though, but we can contend with clouds.
Oh, yes.
We certainly can. Let's start with a live look outside from our camera on top of the Cornell complex in downtown Joplin. Got a beautiful sunrise out there. Just a few clouds in Joplin for now. And as we've mentioned before, some of you may get a little more sunshine than your neighbors before the clouds increase, but they'll be coming in from west to east across the area. Another great view of that sunrise from our camera 7th and Rangeline. Just some absolutely beautiful Bob Ross landscape paintings out here with these colors this morning. And we'll head south to the MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline, of course, facing back to the north. So it is not seeing any of those beautiful colors as of yet, but it is seeing traffic increasing across the area as folks get their Friday underway. So here's what we're looking at. Again, some of us may see a little more sunshine than your neighbors briefly before clouds increase across the region today. Could see a shower, perhaps two. The overall chance of rain today is less than 10%, but if you get it caught under a sprinkle, don't be surprised. Don't say we didn't warn you, but the odds are extraordinarily low today. We'll have better rain chances, though, as we head into our Saturday out there. We'll talk about that later. 63 in Joplin as well as Pittsburgh and around the area. Temperatures, we got that north breeze, so we're a little cooler to the north, low to mid 60s, and a little further south, we're mid upper 60s out there. So some of us near average, many of us well below average across the region as we start the day. All right, again, clouds increasing, mostly cloudy skies today. Cooler temperatures, though. Take a look at this. Our average high, 91. We're going to go low mid 80s today. And as we mentioned before, too, if that's not cool enough for you, we're going to make it even cooler. I won't, but we will, with some temperatures that are going to continue to fall back a little bit for our Saturday. Want those details? You got to stick around for the full forecast. That's coming up here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Well, Jasper County authorities respond to an overturned semi yesterday carrying a fruitful cargo. It happened around 6:30 yesterday morning near the village of Fidelity, Missouri. While the driver was not injured, the trailer's cargo, 38,000 pounds of grapes, was compromised in the crash, so the whole load had to be offloaded into dumpsters and hauled away. Cleanup on the crash lasted until just after 11 a.m. and backed traffic up for at least 6 miles. Well, now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps as well as our website. Watch live streaming anytime, absolutely free. KOAM Plus TV streaming app. The city of Carthage, Missouri is looking for public input as they apply for a community development block grant. The city public yesterday held a public hearing where residents could voice their thoughts on the biggest needs in the community. One plan of the city proposed would replace 5,000 feet of sidewalks in the downtown area, costing an estimated $937,000.
Well, improving sidewalks improves mobility and accessibility for everyone, whether they're the richest person in town or the poorest person in town. Because eventually, everyone gets out of their car and walks. So it makes it easier for them to get out of their car and walk if the sidewalk is, available, if it's usable.
At least 51% of the funds must be used to benefit low and moderate income residents. Well, Pittsburgh area law officers caution businesses to be on the lookout for funny money as a number of area businesses fall victim to a counterfeiter. Al Patel, the owner of Pitt Discount Liquor Store in Pittsburgh, received fake $100 bills on multiple occasions. The counterfeiter was looking to receive real money in return for the counterfeit cash. The Pittsburgh Police Department says prevention is the best solution to avoid counterfeit cash, as police departments can't reimburse businesses for lost money.
I think education, using the tools, like if you think it's a fake bill, compare it to another bill that's in the till. You know, I just think just the little steps that you take could save you a lot of money in the future.
The Pittsburgh Police Department encourages businesses to arm their employees with knowledge of how a fake bill looks and feels. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. OpenAI released a safety review report and says it's worried about people's reliance on ChatGPT. Plus, voters will see former President Trump and Vice President Harris on the debate stage in just over a month. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Friday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Arma, Kansas, ahead of their homecoming celebration. Topping Nation Watch this morning. If you're in the market for a new home, now could be a good time to take the plunge. That's because mortgage rates plummeted this week to the lowest level in more than a year. It's a big step in the right direction for America's notoriously unaffordable housing market. According to Freddie Mac, the standard 30-year fixed rate mortgage averaged 6.47% this week. That's down substantially from last week's average of 6.73%. This marks the lowest level since May 2023. The mortgage rates have steadily fallen over the past several weeks since they reached a 2024 peak of 7.22% in early May. They are also down from a 2-decade high seen late last year. Could human beings depend on computers for companionship? That's a concern raised by OpenAI. The artificial intelligence research organization yesterday issued a safety review report of the tool. The report suggests the human-sounding voice on ChatGPT is so realistic that some people may develop relationships with the tool. ChatGPT's advanced voice mode responds in real time, makes adjustments when interrupted, and can determine a person's emotional state by voice tone. Officials at OpenAI say they've observed people, quote, expressing shared bonds with ChatGPT. ChatGPT was rolled out to paid users last week. The IRS is once again processing pandemic-era tax credit claims from businesses while cracking down on fraudulent claims. The agency paused reviewing claims for the employee retention credit on September 14th of 2023, and due to the high number of potentially fraudulent claims. But now the IRS says it will begin processing the backlog of claims submitted between that date and January 30th. The program was created early in the pandemic to help small businesses keep paying their employees during the shutdown. Meanwhile, the IRS commissioner says 28,000 claims were rejected in recent weeks after they showed a high risk of being fraudulent. The agency says those denials are estimated to have prevented about $5 billion in improper payments. Well, voters will see former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris on the debate stage in just over a month. Both nominees agreed to hold their first debate on September 10th, with more debates possible. Meanwhile, Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, are continuing their focus on battleground states with a rally today in Arizona. Jared Hill reports from New York.
After touching down in Phoenix last night, today Vice President Kamala Harris prepares to take her battleground barnstorm to the Sun Belt. The Democratic nominee also agreeing to her first head-to-head matchup with former President Donald Trump in a debate on September 10th.
I'm looking forward to it, and Hope he shows up.
The announcement as the vice president spent more one-on-one time with voters. Harris and her running mate, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, expressed their solidarity with United Auto Workers in Detroit.
We are all in this together. We stand for the dignity of work, and we stand for freedom. We stand for justice.
Former President Donald Trump lashed out at the Democratic ticket during a news conference at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida.
Kamala's record is horrible. She's a radical left person at a level that nobody's seen. She picked a radical left man. He doesn't want to have borders. He doesn't want to have walls. He doesn't want to have any form of safety for our country.
Trump criticizing Harris for not having done a sit-down interview since announcing her run for the White House, also criticized coverage of the size of her rallies.
Nobody's spoken to crowds bigger than me.
Trump falsely claimed more people turned out for his speech at a Stop the Steal rally on January 6th than showed up for the 1963 March on Washington, when Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his iconic I Have a Dream speech. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Former President Trump will hold a rally today in Bozeman, Montana, and the state has only voted for Democrats in 2 presidential elections since 1952. And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, if you haven't been outside yet, it's a bit on the chilly side out there. The Skywatch Storm Tracker, unlike yesterday, is clear of any kind of precipitation. However, that will change as we head into our Saturday. We're going to have a look at your forecast, talk about some cooler temperatures this weekend when we come back.
Well, students in the Canyon School District are getting to class in good hands, with one of their bus drivers winning awards for his driving skills. Gary Cronk has more on the competition.
On day one, I was like, am I going to drive something this big every day? And years later, here I am.
Meet Jeremy Klung. He's been driving a bus for 12 years.
Pretty much since January of 2012.
And racking up awards for how good he is behind the wheel.
I went in it wanting to have a good time. Winning was a bonus.
After taking first place in district and state,
one thing you don't want to do is stop. If you stop, that goes against you.
Jeremy, who works for the Canyon School District, recently competed in the National School Transportation Association's 50th School Bus Driver International Safety Competition, otherwise known as the rodeo.
This one's a lot more difficult than the rodeos that I did back in 2012 and 2013.
He says he never expected to get this far.
Because I think if you hit the cone, you're out.
In fact, at the moment they'd all been waiting for, at state, he was missing.
If anyone watches it that knows me, they'll know that I'm notorious for being in the bathroom at inopportune times. So when Jeremy said my name is the winner, everyone clapped and applauded, and they started looking around, and he said my name again. And then my mom goes, he's in the bathroom. Everyone,
she yelled that?
Yeah, everyone from Canyons just busted out laughing, and that caused everyone else to bust out laughing, and I missed it.
The rodeo was a chance for Jeremy to showcase his expertise in maneuvering a 40-foot bus through tight spaces.
So like on this side, I can see that I'm about an inch from the tip.
Avoiding obstacles and backing up, or parallel parking in the most difficult situations. I tried driving a bus a couple of years ago.
Go back and stop right there. You're in the stall. Neutral.
I was terrible but entertaining, so I'll stick to riding them.
International, it is much more nerve-wracking because you're going up against the best drivers from all across the country that have won their local and state competitions.
And for winning, you got
a plaque.
High five.
So even though sitting under a tent in Texas for 4 hours waiting for my turn to go was brutal, and I would not want to do that again, it was fun. I had a good time.
Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, temperatures a bit on the cool side for many of us this morning. Clouds expected to increase, temperatures staying below normal the next few days, and we got some rain chances. We're going to look at all those details in the full forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 6:21, almost 6:22 on this Friday morning. We're going to start with the future track as we are expecting some relatively decent temperatures over the next few days and some rain chances. Now, as we go through this morning and into the afternoon, clouds are going to increase across our region from west to east. So, of course, the further east you are, you may get a little more sunshine than your neighbors to the west, but all of us eventually will get in on those mostly cloudy skies, and we do have a less than 10% chance of a shower or sprinkle by this evening. It's tomorrow that starts our better chances of some showers and thunderstorms. Not anticipating any severe weather, which is some great news, just some much needed rain. And the chances for more widespread rain and thunderstorms will be in the first half of our Saturday. As you see on the future track by 5, got a pretty big batch rolling into the area by 9 a.m. Still out there. Now, of course, it's not rain everywhere all at once, but this is our best opportunity for more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. And as we head into Saturday afternoon, that activity becomes a bit more scattered across the region. And we go into the evening and it begins to die out, and believe it or not, skies will briefly begin to clear out before clouds increase again on Sunday ahead of another round of showers and thunderstorms across the area as early as, say, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. These also will be scattered in nature, and they'll be done by the evening also. But just a heads up, don't cancel your weekend plans necessarily. Just keep an umbrella handy. Keep the Skywatch weather app handy as well. And as we go into early Monday morning, we get another round of scattered showers and thunderstorms across the area, and those rain chances will stick with us for several days across the area, and we need that rain because we're seeing abnormally dry conditions. Not quite at drought status yet, but we need some rain to make up for what we have not received here lately. 63 in Joplin. Breeze is out of the north at about 9 miles an hour. A little cooler to the north half of the area, so along and north of I-44, we're look at Iola now, down to 59 degrees. We got low mid 60s up to the north and mid to upper 60s across the region as you head a little further south. So again, getting our day started, some of you may see a little more sunshine than your neighbors initially, but clouds will increase from west to east across the area and will start to go mostly cloudy across the whole area. And we'll go take a look at that, low 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our average high is 91. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. We're going to go low mid 80s for our highs today. We head into the evening and overnight. Again, we'll hold on to mostly cloudy skies, and we'll continue that trend overnight. We'll also continue the below normal trend with lows back into the low 60s. And like we're seeing in Iola right now, we could see a few more low 50s as we start the day on Saturday. And look at this. Our highs upper 70s for most of us on Saturdays. A couple of low 80s possible, but otherwise well below normal across the area, and that trend continues into Sunday. And then as we head into next week, temperatures will begin to warm up out there. We're going to start going mid 90s across the region, and again, those rain chances will stick with us through at least Thursday morning. That's a check of your forecast. I'm going to send it over to Elise with Health Watch.
Thanks, Chris. The CDC is warning that a multi-state listeria outbreak linked to Boar's Head deli meat is continuing to make people sick. At least 9 more cases have been reported, with a total of 43 hospitalizations and 3 deaths. The CDC says you should throw away or return recalled products, and if you brought them home, thoroughly clean your fridge. Well, the new data from the CDC shows the U.S. death rate decreased by 6% in 2023, and deaths from COVID-19 were nearly 70% lower than in 2022. While the COVID-19 virus continues to circulate, the virus dropped from the 4th leading cause of death to 10th place. And scientists at North Carolina State University have created a bandage that uses an electric field to help heal chronic wounds. The animal testing the electric bandages healed wounds 30% faster than conventional bandages. They say they're inexpensive to manufacture and easy to use at home. The team hopes to do clinical trials with the tech-boosted bandages soon. Well, many people with deviated septums don't know they have one or realize how much it's impacting their quality of life. But doctors say for the right patient, an hour-long operation can be life-changing. Dr. Malika Marshall has more on how smaller incisions and new techniques to control bleeding are making recovery much easier.
Part of the job of a firefighter is to sniff out danger, which was always a challenge for 41-year-old Cliff Silva.
I will enter the building and say, well, I don't smell anything. And then everyone else comes in and they say, well, it's definitely here and we have to go find it.
Little did he know he had a structural problem.
I would take a deep breath and I would have one side of the nose and didn't really realize that that was wrong.
24-year-old Valerie Shaw's nostrils would collapse on both sides, making it hard to breathe and smell.
My mom would always tell me that the scents in my car were too strong.
Both Valerie and Cliff had deviated septums.
Deviated septum surgery has been around for decades, but new improvements have made it a lot less painful and more effective.
I think it's come the furthest of any surgery that I do in 10 years.
Dr. Linda Lee is a facial plastic surgeon at Mass Eye and Ear. She says the key is selecting the right candidates.
We understand who to operate on and who not to. We can't cure snoring, we can't cure allergies, so it's got to be a very distinct deviation in order to improve.
Nostril breathing is important for smell and taste, sleep, exercise, mood, and possibly cardiovascular health.
I know that not only is it a quality of life thing, but I truly know you are healthier now.
Dr. Lee operated on both Cliff and Valerie, which they say was life-changing.
I did this to live and breathe, and it made an unbelievable difference.
It was like a whole new world. I really couldn't breathe out of my nose before this. I can smell colors.
Colors, and finally, the air fresheners in her car. Dr. Malika Marshall, CBS News, Boston.
If you think you have a deviated septum, doctors say consult a plastic surgeon to make sure you're a good candidate for surgery. And in some cases, patients can also have cosmetic work done on their nose at the same time. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Joplin asked the public to weigh in on improvements to the city's website.
And we've got a cool start to the day. Clouds beginning to increase across the area. Temperatures below normal the next few days. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, Pitt State is in the last month of its Silverback campaign. We'll see how it can benefit student athletes.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's a finally Friday here in the 4 states. So tomorrow, of course, is the weekend, and it'll wrap up the first full week of August. And well, we started this week certainly feeling like August.
Yes, we did.
And we're ending this week almost feeling like September, October across the area.
Can't complain about that.
No, not at all. Talk about a heck of a roller coaster ride on temperatures over the last several weeks, honestly, going back all the way into July.
Yes.
And it's going to continue for us as well, that roller coaster ride. So hopefully you've got some Dramamine. This can get a bit bumpy. Let's start with a look outside from our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin. You can see we've got some clouds out there. Clouds will continue to increase across the areas we go through the morning. MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking good. Traffic moving. That's always, of course, a positive sign that you're going to be able to get where you're going today. And hopefully you're going to be able to enjoy some of this today because it's going to be pretty decent. Again, some of you, the further east you are, you may see a little bit more sunshine than your neighbors to the west, but clouds will be gradually increasing throughout the morning and into the afternoon from west to east, and a less than 10% chance of a sprinkle or two out there. So the majority of us will remain dry today. However, we have increasing rain chances as we head into the weekend and next week. Look at this. We are sitting at 63 in Joplin as well as Pittsburgh. And around the area, look at some of these temperatures too. Look at Iola sitting at 59 degrees this morning. We've got otherwise low, mid, and upper 60s, so a smattering of 60-degree readings, and our average low is 69. So again, further south, been a little bit closer to that or right at that, but the further north you go, it is considerably cooler. As we go through today, again, clouds increase, mostly cloudy skies out there, and that will also assist with temperatures because it's going to be well below normal today. Average high 91. We're talking low, maybe mid 80s across the region, so a fairly decent day. And we're going to continue to cool down as we head into our Saturday, and that's courtesy of the rain chances we're looking at. We'll take a full look at your forecast, talk about those rain chances, how long they last, and when the heat returns here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, the city of Joplin is asking the community for their opinion, this time concerning its website. As the Marketing and Communications Department begins work on redesigning the city's website, they're asking the public to take part in a survey giving input on everything from website traffic to current satisfaction level. The department says it's looking for input from everyone, regardless of how often they use the site. Anyone interested in taking the survey can head over to KOAMnewsnow.com, where we have provided a link. Well, 9 little students graduated with some big honors yesterday. Kiddos at the Community Support Services of Missouri Early Learning Center will take the big steps from preschool to kindergarten thanks to their hard efforts. The day marked a pretty special occasion for the teachers as well.
Children that graduated today are actually from my very first ever classroom, so it's very special to me. They are the ones who taught me how to be a teacher, and now they are teaching me how to be a director. So I care for them very deeply. I care for their families very deeply, and I'm very proud of them.
The center provides childcare to children from birth to 12 years old. Services are provided to children with developmental delays, children with special needs, as well as typically developing children in Jasper, McDonald, and Newton counties. The Pittsburgh State University Silverback campaign has entered into its month of giving. KOAM's Anthony Saviello explains what donations are used for and how they benefit the school.
The month of giving is extremely important for us to have success in the classroom, on the court, field, pitch, anything like that.
Not every student athlete can be given a full ride, but the Silverback campaign at PSU is doing something about that.
We're donating straight to our student athlete scholarships. And this helps their financial burdens. This helps with our office campus housing, their books, their scholarships, their tuition. This helps in all of those aspects to take care of our student athletes the best that we can.
The campaign has entered its month of giving, but already had a jump start through PSU President Dan Shipp golfing around the four-state area to raise money.
It's been awesome. It's been tremendous. It's been great support, and even people who have helped, they've helped us financially. They've shown up at games. They've prepared with their blackout shirts, their Silverback blackout shirts. It's really just, the support has been tremendous in all aspects of athletics.
Donations can be targeted towards a specific sport, or they can go into the Silverback Fund, which is an easy way for them to be dispersed throughout all sports. But money isn't the only way people can give.
There's no parameters or box that we're going to put you in. We would just like you to give and support and join us for the kickoff party, and join us for the August 31st, and then when volleyball starts up and when soccer starts up. So we're just really kicking off the sports seasons in the school year with the month of giving.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The Silverback campaign will end with the football home opener on August 31st. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. If it's Friday, you know what that means. We've got Shannon Becker live in studio to help us close out the week with his big 3 news stories. And we have a warm and mostly cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, here's a live look from Arma, Kansas, ahead of their VJ homecoming celebration. Welcome back. We've got Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Good morning to you, Shannon.
Good morning, Elise. You're looking pretty in pink as always.
Thank you. Look nice yourself.
I don't know what I'm wearing. So
let's
take a look at the big 3 stories this week. What's happening where you live? Tragedy this last weekend. A motorcycle crash. A man from Grove, Oklahoma. A lot of people know Sean Tarter is his name. Crashed motorcycle. I was out with a friend.
Yes.
And sadly died just the other day of injuries about 5 days after that tragic crash. He had been flown to Springfield for more medical care. Sometimes those motorcycles, it just depends upon the crash. Even wearing your helmet, you can still get horrible injuries. He was a big part of monster trucks in the area, made fiberglass bodies for different things. So we'll have more information on our website today as we'll update that story. Our number 2 story, KOAM News Now, what's happening live and local. Missouri Southern State University, it was a structure that's kind of attached to the building, but it wasn't the building, if that makes sense.
Yes.
A contractor was working on a column and hit an electric line, and about 2 hours later, it kind of started smoldering.
Oh, wow.
So he probably didn't even know that he'd hit that electric line.
Right.
But Joplin Fire Department en masse were there and put that fire out. Now they'll be doing some repairs on that column as well. Students, though, back to school. It's not going to be a big problem at all.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Wonderful.
that's what I want to be sure to emphasize. I'm sorry. And there are actually students are staying there now because student athletes are back on campus. So nobody was injured, and everybody's all back to normal. Good. Our number one story, Joplin News First, a big fire on Range Line and I-44. This was earlier this week. You can see these images captured by some of our tipster friends.
Mm-hmm.
That is really on fire, right?
Yes.
So it
Wow.
happened right there
Look
at
at
the
that.
interchange. So a lot of people saw what was happening. So it was a truck full of 30,000 pounds of strawberries.
And it caught fire.
Yeah, I don't think that strawberries are smoked very good. Are they smoked strawberries? That's not a thing, right?
I don't think
no,
so.
It's not. No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
I wouldn't be opposed
So
to trying.
It was an issue with brakes is what it was.
Okay.
And the driver was able to unhook the truck and he pulled forward so the semi-truck didn't burn, just the trailer. And those cleanups take a long time. Save some strawberries there for you, though, right there in the ashes and the dirt.
Oh my goodness.
And then our bonus story of the week, KOAM News Now. Yes. It's the bridge that eats trucks. That's what happens in Racine. It's 9 feet, 7 inches, and it happened again this week. You know, it's clearly marked. Most bridges are about 12 to 14 feet.
Right.
Across. That's in 2023, this last year. This one turned into like an accordion there.
Yeah.
A truck that was moving
goodness.
some stock. Now, there's actually 2 overpasses there. Here's one from 2023.
Okay.
This is a Vapor Maven. They're a local vapor store that totally ripped the
Destroyed
whole box off. Nobody is injured though, all right?
Yeah.
It used to be 9.9, but they resurfaced the road, so it's a little bit smaller area now. That was an RV in 2021. Wow. Tragically, someone died in that crash though. So be sure and watch out for that bridge in Racine. Everybody that hits it, they always say, well, the map app, Google Maps or whoever took me through here.
Yes.
Well, you still got to watch for that
9-7. Important reminder.
Yeah.
Important reminder indeed.
That's our bonus story of the week, KOAM News Now, the big 3.
All right, Shannon. Well, as always, thanks again for coming with us this Friday morning. Stick around. We're back with more right after this.
All right, time for some Friday birthdays in the 4 states, and we're going to start in Columbus with Augustus Clark celebrating number 3. Says, happy birthday, farmer boy.
And over in Dennis, Kansas, a happy 4th birthday to Anna Say. It says here, love mom, dad, and brother.
And in Riverton, Cody Newman celebrating birthday number 6. Happy birthday, Cody.
Also celebrating their 6th birthday over in Jasper is Zane Etchinson. Happy birthday, Zane.
And in Scammon, Olivia Ross celebrating birthday number 7 with birthday love coming from Papa and Nani.
And happy 11th birthday to Jace Tuggle.
And in Pittsburgh, Landon Jesse celebrating birthday number 16. Says, happy sweet 16th birthday. We love you.
Over in Galena, happy 17th birthday to Jackson Hawkins. It says here, with love from Dad, Crystal, and Kinsley.
And in Webb City, Nicole Earl celebrating birthday number 21. Happy birthday, Nicole.
And happy 40th birthday to Will Weber over in Galena.
And in Columbus, Melba Owens celebrating birthday number 89, and she's pictured there with her brother, Charlie.
And a happy birthday to Carolyn Scholes Tomlinson over in Joplin. It says that she's pictured here with husband Roger.
And Karen Brown in Wichita celebrating a birthday today. It says, we love you from all your family and friends back here in Chanute.
Over in Milo, Missouri, a happy birthday to Stacy McGee.
And we go on with Tom and Audrey Dietz celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary in Weir. Happy anniversary.
And a happy 65th anniversary to Stanley and Maxine Ryan over in Crestline.
And Jesse and Jacques Rion celebrating. Sorry, Jackie. I'll bet that's Jackie.
Perhaps so.
It's a possibility. Well, either way, a very happy anniversary to the Rion family.
Absolutely. Continuing our birthday list with Krista Clay over in Chanute, turning 60 today. It says director of the Adult Basic Education Program at NCCC. Happy birthday from all your fellow coworkers that work with you in the cave. Happy birthday, Krista.
All right. And in Pittsburgh, Zara Wood celebrating birthday number 13. Says there is an 8th grader at Pittsburgh Community Middle School.
And over in Frontenac, happy birthday to Sean Haggerty.
And also in Frontenac, Patrick Haggerty. I would be willing to bet they're related. celebrating a birthday today as well. I mean, it's a possibility they're not. I've seen things like that happen.
You never know.
You never know, but I'd be taking a shot. I believe they probably are. Well, very happy birthday and anniversary to everyone on our list today. And if you would like to celebrate with us, and why wouldn't you, Elise has some information for you.
Yes, go ahead and submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those photos and messages and to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen.
Absolutely. And, of course, don't forget to include the date of the celebration as well so we know, what day we need to put it on so you don't miss it or your loved ones don't miss it. And you do not want to miss the weather the next few days. It's going to be relatively pleasant, at least temperature-wise. We do have some rain chances, but nothing too crazy, and that's going to be great. This is our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Live look at the sun coming up this morning. Looking pretty good. Got a few clouds out there. And again, some of our friends here, the further east you are, you may see a little more sunlight than your friends to the west as the clouds gradually increase from west to east through the morning. Our camera 7th and range line also looking pretty good. The sun here playing peekaboo with these trees. And again, just another shot of those clouds. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin. Roadways are dry. Folks getting their day underway on this Friday. Everybody's working for the weekend. And we are almost there. KDOT camera 69 Kansas Crossing just south of Pittsburgh. Also looking pretty good this morning as well. Let's talk about today and the weekend in terms of some rain chances that are going to be on the way. Now for today, we're looking to be dry, but again, clouds will be increasing through the day from west to east across the area. There is a less than 10% chance of a sprinkle or two out there, but really, we're just looking to stay dry and below normal, and that's one of the key messages for us today. Then as we head into our Saturday early morning, we start to see showers and thunderstorms rolling into the area. Now, before noon is going to be our best opportunity for widespread shower and thunderstorm activity. After that, it'll be more scattered, so the chances will remain. They'll just be more scattered, but as you see on the future track by Saturday morning, even by mid-morning, we've got a little bit more opportunity for more widespread showers and storms. No severe weather expected, which is great news because we do not need any severe weather. But again, a few showers out there. And again, don't cancel your weekend plans. Just make sure you keep an umbrella handy and, of course, the Skywatch weather app with you wherever you go. That's what we're talking about, too. By the time we reach noon, we're seeing a little less coverage, a little more scattered shower and thunderstorm activity. By the evening, that does begin to die off. And believe it or not, skies will actually clear out late evening into the early overnight hours on Saturday into Sunday, and then just before sunrise on Sunday, clouds begin to increase once again, and by mid-morning, more scattered showers and thunderstorms. Again, no severe weather, but a few more scattered showers and storms out there as well. And since they're scattered, it's not an all-day rain event. That's why we're saying don't cancel your plans. Just be prepared for some rain. Otherwise, pretty good. And wait until we talk about these temperatures. By the way, tomorrow, yeah, we're talking upper 70s for most of us for highs, with our average high being 91. That's going to be really nice out there. We go into early Monday morning and, another round of scattered showers and storms. In fact, we'll have scattered shower and storm chances hanging out with us all the way through next Thursday, which, again, is much needed because the drought tracker, again, we're not yet at drought status in our area, but we're seeing that abnormally dry reading appear over a broader area. So the more rain we can get, the better, because we do not want a repeat of last year and the year prior where we were dealing with extreme drought conditions, especially in the southeastern Kansas. 63 in Joplin right now. North breeze about 9 miles an hour. Got this little line almost right with the Kansas-Oklahoma border, and then I-44 on the Missouri side. North of it, it is cool. 59 in Iola. And then we got low mid 60s, and a little further south, we're going into the mid to upper 60s. We get our morning underway. Again, some of you will see a little more sunshine, but eventually all of us going mostly cloudy, and we'll be about 74 by 11 o'clock. We'll have another look at your forecast news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to hear how social media is bringing Olympic athletes and fans closer together.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Pittsburgh area law officers caution businesses to be on the lookout for funny money. One Pittsburgh business has received multiple counterfeit bills on multiple occasions. The Pittsburgh police say prevention is the best solution and encourages businesses to arm their employees with knowledge of how to spot a fake bill. The city of Carthage, Missouri is looking for public input as they apply for a community development block grant. The city held a public hearing where residents could voice their thoughts on the biggest needs in the community. One plan the city proposed would replace 5,000 feet of sidewalks in the downtown area, costing an estimated $937,000. The 78th annual ARMA VJ Day Homecoming officially kicks off today and runs through Sunday. There'll be activities for the whole family to enjoy, including pickleball, golf, a children's parade, and more. You're invited to bring the whole family, have a great time, and maybe talk to a veteran or two while you're there. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And as you head out the door, get ready for some cloudy skies and slightly cooler temperatures out there. Low to mid 80s for our highs today. And again, we'll be mostly cloudy as we go through the day. Mostly cloudy skies will continue through the evening and overnight. 71 by 10, overnight lows, low 60s. So some of you, like Iola's seen this morning, could fall back into the upper 50s. Then we'll continue with the below normal trend. Upper 70s for most of us tomorrow, maybe some low 80s. We've got scattered thunderstorm chances from tomorrow through next Thursday morning. Excuse me. And we'll continue to stay below normal through the weekend. Temperatures warming up next week, though. We'll go back to the mid 90s by the end of next week. So enjoy this weekend. I know it's going to rain a little bit, but it's scattered, so these temperatures are going to be great.
Yes, they are. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making lemon refrigerator bites in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Dangerous rip currents are always a consequence long after hurricanes and tropical storms have passed. Coming up on CBS Mornings, see how lifeguards are now using drones to make sure you're safe in the water.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we'll hear how one organization is stepping up to help kids with school supplies.
And Shannon Becker back in the studio with his big 3 stories of the week. However, that's going to wrap it up for us for now on this finally Friday. We will rejoin you Monday morning with plenty of coffee at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.